Nalissa Smith out. Sophie Cunningham in. What's really going on? Is Indiana playing chess with this trade? Sophie Cunningham to Indiana. Here's why it actually makes sense. Let's break it down. The Indiana Fever just pulled the trigger on a three-way trade, and man, do we need to talk about it. Nalissa Smith out, Sophie Cunningham in, and a whole lot of movement happening around the scenes. Now, I know Fever fans are probably feeling some kind of way about this. Was it a steal or a fleece? Well, sit tight because I've got three big reasons why this move might be the chess play of the season. And trust me, you don't want to miss reason number three because it changes everything about what the Fever are actually building. Let's be real. The Fever's offense last season had spacing issues like a bad group text. You ever been in one of those? Messages all jumbled up. Nobody knows where to be, and it just feels awkward. Yeah, that was the Fever's offense. Too much congestion, not enough breathing room for Caitlin and Kelsey to cook. Enter Sophie Cunningham. She's a certified sniper from deep with an attitude. She's a 3-and-D wing who can stretch the floor, and that means more room inside for Aaliyah Boston to do her thing and Caitlin to unleash the Clarkin. With Caitlin Clark, Cunningham, Lexi Hall, and Kelsey Mitchell lurking around the arc, defenses will have to pick their poison. You collapse on Boston, boom, kick out three. You stay out on the shooters, good luck stopping Boston one-on-one. This move makes the Fever's offense a whole lot deadlier. All right, let's talk defense. Lexi Hall is a dog on defense, but she's got a bad habit of racking up fouls really fast, and that is a problem. But here's where Sophie comes in the clutch. She's got the versatility to guard multiple positions and step in when Lexi gets into foul trouble. It's like having an extra Swiss Army knife on the roster. Sophie's a player who can lock in on perimeter scorers and keep up in transition. That's a huge W for a team that struggled to stay consistent on defense last year. Okay, this is the part that's got NBA level chess move energy and the three reasons you've been waiting for. Reason number one, the Fever just opened up the floor like never before. So, you know how a clogged up offense can make everything look like a bad game of bumper cars? Well, say goodbye to that. Sophie Cunningham steps in and suddenly the Fever's floor spacing becomes a reality. We're talking about a certified 3-and-D wing who can knock down shots from deep and keep defenses honest. Think about it. Caitlin Clark doing generational things like dimes on strings and logo threes from anywhere for days. Kelsey Mitchell, fast and lethal from three. Lexi Hall, a sniper. Now add Sophie Cunningham. That's a lineup that forces defenses to pick their poison. Collapse inside on Aaliyah Boston or give up the open looks from deep. Either way, somebody is going to get cooked. And let's be real, the Fever desperately needed this. Last season, their spacing looked tighter than sardines packed in a can. It was clear they needed more weapons from beyond the arc, and now they've got them. But that's just the start, because reason number two is where this trade really starts making moves. Number two, Cunningham gives the Fever some much needed defensive insurance. All right, let's talk about defense. Lexi Hall fans, don't come for me. But we all saw it last season. When Lexi got into foul trouble, the perimeter defense turned into a revolving door, and that's not great. Now, Sophie Cunningham steps in as a defensive safety net. that the Fever desperately needed. She's physical. She hustles. She can guard multiple positions without putting the team in a bind when the refs get a little whistle happy. And honestly, this move might have saved the Fever seasons before it even got started. Here's why. Cunningham brings versatility, meaning the Fever can mix up their lineups without sacrificing defense. She's the perfect stopgap if Lexi Hall struggles or if the team needs extra defensive toughness against bigger wings. Translation, the Fever just leveled up their ability to handle elite scorers. And if that wasn't enough to convince you, reason number 3 is where the trade goes from solid to genius. Number 3, the Fever just pulled a master class in cap space strategy. Okay, Fever fans, hear me out. This trade wasn't just about Sophie. It was about what's coming next. Have you ever seen a team make a move and think, wait, are they setting up something bigger? Well, guess what? They are. By moving Nalissa Smith, the Fever just freed up cap space. And they still have a cool $180,000 plus to shop around. You know what that means? They're not done yet. Could they grab an international star? Could they bring in another power forward to back up Natasha Howard? Are they setting up one final splash before the season starts? The Fever aren't just trying to make the playoffs. They're building something sustainable. And that's how championship teams are built. Indiana didn't just grab Sophie Cunningham for the vibes. This was a strategic move to offload Nalissa Smith. That means they can go after a big-time power forward to back up Natasha Howard. And let's be honest, Howard is a beast, but she is 35 years old. She is going to need help. Names like Janelle Solon and Emma Missaman are floating around. And if the Fever can land a solid 3-4 hybrid, suddenly this trade is boosted into the upper stratosphere. Long term, this front office is playing the patient game. They want to win it all this year, that's true, but they're also setting up for something big in the future. All right, so the Fever now have elite spacing and more three-point shooting. They've added defensive flexibility so foul trouble doesn't sink them. They just pulled off a cap space power move that sets them up for something even bigger. Now, I know some fans think they gave up a little too much to move Nalissa Smith. But here's my question for you. Would you rather hold on to a player who wasn't quite the right fit or take a calculated risk for a better future? What's your take on this? Did the Fever win this trade or get finessed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, keep balling.